Hello and welcome to Mostly Minnesota Music Podcast Edition. I'm Ann Tracy. I'm here with,
Heather Baker.
yeah, and we are here to talk to Becky Kapell. Welcome.
Hello.
Yes, yes, Becky is one of our favorite musicians in town, and this is fun. But I think I interviewed you years ago when I still wrote for Riff Magazine or the Twin City Daily Planet or something. So
Maybe.
I think I
Gosh,
do because I
I
remember some of the stories. So I'm just going to start by asking. I mean, I think you have an interesting story. So tell us a little bit about you to start.
I'm old, so
Watch it. We're real close to the same.
are we? Anyway, anyway, I'm not old. Actually, I'm not old. I'm about to be 58, and I started playing the guitar when I was 42. When my son was a teenager and was playing guitar, and I sort of I had been involved with music when I was, younger, in my early 20s, out in Portland, Oregon, where I lived at the time. But I had kind of forgotten about music for a number of years as I raised my children and was married and worked full time and all that stuff, which I still do work full time. But anyway, I picked up the guitar and I started strumming and teaching myself chords, and I started writing songs. I didn't plan on it, and that's what happened. That's my story.
Your story. That's your story. And you've just put out an album. And is this your third album?
It is actually
Officially?
my third. Yep, officially my third record. Yes.
Officially. So it's In It to Win It.
In It to Win It.
In It to Win It. I love it. One of the things that I like so much about your music is there's just a pragmatism to it, and there's some wit to it, and which kind of undercuts somehow there's a lot of pain in it too.
Yes, exactly. That's what I love about country music. It's like, it's not funny, but it's kind of funny. A lot of it, the really good stuff when there's a turn of a phrase or something. And yeah, I mean, yeah, some of the, yes, some of my little phrases, I'm like, oh, how did I come up with that? That's awesome. But yeah, they're witty, and yet they do express true emotion. So yes. Yeah. Thank you.
It is, and it kind of, a lot of it will remind me of some of the music that I listened to as a kid. And it was, as you said, it's a clever line. It's that sleeping single in a double bed. Right. I don't know what I thought. I don't know what I thought that meant when I was 8, but
I know. Yes, I do.
Nice. But there is a flavor of that in some of the songs. But then you go to a song like Idle Down, and I think it that is a more powerful voice in that song.
Yeah. That song is, I mean, I guess most of my songs are, it's like you could say they're about somebody, but really they're not. They're about me, really. And that one was just inspired by, because my dad used to tell me to idle down when I was a child. I have a lot of energy. So he would tell me to idle down, and the song was just the take on sort of a car idling down and not going too fast. All the metaphors I could possibly use. I didn't use all of them though. But yeah,
something for the next album.
It's very true. It's like, note to self, like, don't move too fast. Enjoy the ride. That's what that song is about. So Dad was right. Idle down, slow the roll. So
I like that song too. I said Juice Newton, Nikki Lane, like the old country, but new with the sass. I love that. And I'm wondering if music, since you said your dad is like slow your roll, idle down, is playing music kind of give you that? Like kind of gets your energy to go into something and more productive.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Well, and Anne mentioned a minute ago about my songs are sort of pragmatic. It's true. I think the way I started writing songs is I've always kept a journal. Here's one right here. Little thin thing. I get these at Target. Anyway, a journal, meaning not really a journal. Like I can hardly read my writing in those things. It's more just like I don't have a therapist right now, so I just write down, just puke into this thing. But every once in a while, you get a, like a little true idea. And sometimes I notice that when I'm like been repeating myself, when I write the same thing over and over in my journal. So yeah, back when I first started writing songs, I had I guess a lot. I was I was going through menopause, and I had a lot of angst in my life, and all those, the throwing up of all the feelings, everything into my journal, distilling them down into a song is the best feeling in the world, because it's like, oh, I have this little box now that's contains this idea, and then I can put it aside. And so it is therapeutic, pragmatic, all those things. Yes.
The other thing you do is it's not like emotions on the skin. You tell a story that I think with Is Your Love Gone? I mean, I found your ring in your drawer.
Yeah. Actually, another one inspired by my father, which with the line, I mean, that's a lot of times how a song will start. There's, you go, ooh, that'd make a good song, this line. My dad actually was just kind of talking not that long ago. It's sometime during COVID, I was visiting him. He's got advanced Parkinson's, so it's kind of hard to understand what he was saying. But he said, I found a ring in my drawer. It doesn't fit me anymore. And I said, oh, good one, Dad. That's, good one. And then I just riffed on that. I found your ring in your drawer. Does it not fit you anymore? Or is your love gone? Yes, we've had that. We've all had that. Have we all had that experience? Yeah, okay. I think most people have. Oh, lost love. Oh, so sad.
But I like how that too makes you kind of focus in the moment, like listening and grabbing things that people say in your life or that you see and you notice it, rather than if you're a high speed go one speed, you fly past that stuff, where this kind of lets you grasp those moments or connections.
Yeah, that's right. I am. Yes, music has definitely been grounding for me, for sure. And I mean, just given me something to really grasp on. I feel like it sounds a little corny, like I've been waiting all my life for this, but in a way, I do really feel like I'm kind of realizing, who I really am, after being a daughter, and then, an employee, and then a mother and a wife and all those things. It's like, yeah, those were all good, but really, really what I am is a musician. I like, it's what I like the most. It's what I really want to do all the time, is sing. I like to sing. I like the way it feels up in here, all the things. So, and yeah, writing a song, the first time I wrote what I felt like was a good song, it's like there's nothing like it. It's like something coming through you, and you just are like, what? Whoa, this is, I know, yeah, anyway, it's magical. It's magical.
What makes you say this is a good one?
Oh,
How do you know? How's that, Colin?
Oh, well, at the beginning when I was first writing songs, I thought they were all ridiculous and totally embarrassing. So way at the beginning, I think I sheepishly at one point played something for a friend of mine, actually out in Portland, where I recorded my first record there, back in started in 2010. And it came out in 2012, because I didn't know any musicians here at all. I knew all the musicians I knew were from Portland, where I lived, years before. Anyway, I had played a song for one of my guitar player friends out there, and he played along, and I was like, oh, because my guitar playing is very rudimentary. I just chunk, 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 chunk. But then you have somebody good that adds a little ribbon of, beautifulness through it, and you go, oh, this is not just a this is actually a thing. This is a song, now that there's, yeah. Anyway, that's what made me realize, and then the encouragement from some of those people. But anyway, now when I write a good song, I don't know. I don't know if they're good. Mostly it's just, if I bounce it off the guys that I play with, and they go, yeah, good, then I think it's a good song. But or if I like singing it. Sometimes when you're making a set list, for a gig, there's songs you're like, oh, I don't know, that was really hard to sing. And why is it hard to sing? Just because I don't like it that much. So I've tried to eliminate all those now from my life. They're good songs. I just don't want to sing them anymore.
Life lesson right there.
Yes, exactly. Put them aside. I'm all about little containers. And if I could illustrate my life, it would be stacks of little neat boxes where I put things and emotions. And that's what a song is. It's a little box of feelings, I guess. Yeah.
Nice. I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
I was going to say one of my favorite ones on this album is I Don't Know. I love this. I love the tone of your vocals on that song.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's so, and the lyrics I love, but I mean, I don't know. It's just like a softer, I mean, I love your sass.
It's
love that. But I heard that I Don't Know and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Just, yeah.
But that's one where I wrote like really a few years back. I mean, when I say wrote, it was just like I was riffing on a thing, and then that was it's a 4-chord song that I just play over and over. There's no changes in it or anything. It's very drony, but yeah, it was low, and I thought it was stupid. I thought it was really stupid, but the chorus is very catchy. Just the way, I mean, I don't know, that's the chorus. And yeah, that was one that I kind of had to play with some other musicians to realize like, oh yeah, this has a total groove to it. I love this. So, and now, yeah, I agree. It's one of my favorites. It's really fun. That's really fun to do too. Yeah.
Well, I just like the don't know, at the end part too. I was just like, I don't know. I love the whole thing. I can't wait to hear that one live.
Oh yeah. Did you see the video that I made in my bedroom of that one?
No.
Oh yeah, I made a video like at the beginning
great.
of COVID. I decided to make a video for that one, and I just went in my bedroom and I set my phone, like I didn't even have it on the selfie mode, the turnaround mode. I just like set it against a pillow at the end of my bed, and then I went in front of my curtains in my bedroom, and I danced really fast, like not even dancing. I just was flailing around as fast as I could. And then, and for like a while, I didn't have any music or anything while I was doing it. And then I went back and just, like in iMovie, I put it into slow motion. It was all experimental. And it just seemed like it somehow really went with the groove of the song once it was in slow motion. And so, and I made a lyric video. So the lyrics really go with it too. I was very proud of myself. I did it all by myself.
It's fun to watch. It's a
fun to
fantastic
watch.
video. Yeah.
Thank you, and the result was it cut off my head, which I love because I really like sort of anonymous. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I have no problem with my face. I just like to have. It was just kind of fun to be anonymous. Yeah, in that way. So it was just a body flailing. So you'll have to watch it, Heather.
I will. I definitely will.
And the rest of you watch it.
I was going to say, is that some of the new tricks or secrets that you've challenged yourself with during this time of not as many gigs happening?
Yeah, at the beginning for sure it was, and I really would like to make more videos and stuff, and I'd really love to take photos. I take a lot of photos just with my phone, but not so much having to do with my music. But yes, I would love to do more video stuff. I feel like that's just really super fun. And I sort of, yeah, it's like finding the time. It's not like I'm that busy. It's more like finding the creative headspace to do it. It's, And you're right, when there was, oh, there's my dog. when there's when there was the big lockdown, then I mean, I used my time. I don't know if I used it wisely or not, but I got a few things done. Oh, Skeeter, that's my dog, Skeeter Davis.
Why does my
for
heart?
anybody that walks by. Anyway, what was I saying? So yes, I would like to make more videos, and there was some other point I was going to make, and I can't remember what it was, but anyway.
You did I think that I read that you did start to make the album, or at least produce some of the songs in lockdown.
Oh, yes, during COVID. Yes, we absolutely did. Yep, for sure. Yeah, there were 3 of them that were recorded live, not just before COVID, but like in November of 2019. And we did those live in Jeremy Johnson's studio, basement studio, live to tape. This was Paul's idea. Paul Burgeon, who plays guitar with me, and produced the record, and actually produced my previous record as well. It was his idea. That's the way we started recording. And when we started recording this, we just kind of like, I mean, Paul and I were together a lot. He's my guy. So, we just have a good, fun, creative time of like, well, let's try this or try that or whatever. So, yeah, we actually recorded 4 songs in one afternoon, but we only kept 3 of them for the record. And it was to tape, and it was super cool sounding and everything. So those are, I Don't Know, and something, and what's the other one? In It to Win It, the actual title track. Those were all recorded live. And then there was a couple other songs that Yester recorded in like Paul's living room during COVID. And when there was like, we had our pod, his son did the engineering, his son Sam. So yeah, it was all recorded a little bit different ways and during COVID. But I will say that last summer, when things kind of, once the vaccine came in and people were kind of going out, I actually had a pretty busy summer last summer. I was really surprised, and that was great. And I have a nice busy summer this summer too. So yeah, it's all good.
To tell us about some shows that you're excited about.
Oh yes, well, of course, the one I'm most excited about is May 21st at the Turf Club. And that is my record release show. And it's rescheduled from February 3rd is when it was supposed to happen, and that was when the big surge was happening. So we rescheduled it. We're lucky enough to get a date because it wasn't easy. Those poor, those First Avenue people really work hard and
yes,
accommodating everybody, and I'm so appreciative of that. But so yeah, it's now it's with Turn, which is going to be awesome. It's a co-bill with them, so we're actually both playing good sets. And then Faith Boblet is doing an opening set, and I love her stuff, and I love her. And I think she's just going to be doing a solo thing for that. But
okay.
So it's just going to be a really fun night. I think the doors are at 6:30 and the whole show starts at 7:30, and we'll be on last. And I have, of course, Paul Burgeon playing with me as usual. And then Eric Koskinen is going to be playing bass with us that night.
Nice.
And he played bass when we did the live recordings in Jeremy's basement. So he's going to reprise his role as bass player. We don't usually think of Eric as a bass player, but he's awesome. And Nate Gam on drums, who I've been working with for the past year or so. And Jenny Russ is going to sing backup vocals with me, which for the first time we sang together once, like one song. And so she's coming over this week so we can run through stuff. And I'm super excited because I'm excited to have a female harmony vocals with me. So that's going to be really great.
Yeah, be fantastic. And she's so good. She's so good.
She's so good. No pressure, Jenny Russ. Yeah. So that's
going to wear ABBA costumes, and that'll make it all.
Yes, if she can just it's a requirement. Yeah. No, she's great. So yeah, so that's May 21st. And then just before that, so that's, let's see, that's next Saturday. I'm not sure when this is going to be airing, but Saturday the 21st. And then on May 18th, I'm doing a little show up in Bram, Minnesota. If you've heard of the Listening Room up in Bram, which is just up by just a little bit north of Cambridge. So about an hour away. Anyway, they have, there's a guy named Sean Sullivan who has a show called The Happy Trucker Show. It used to be actually on the radio. There was this radio station up there, but that station has folded. So now he's just an online show, but he still is hosting lots of concerts and has like in studio musicians and so on. But this will be I think it'll be a live like radio broadcast, and Paul and I are going to play just a duo set for about a half an hour, opening for a band called Side Pony, which I think is a couple of females that I don't really know a lot about, but they're not from these parts. They're coming through. So,
Nice.
so that'll be a fun thing. Just a nice little precursor, I guess, to the Turf Club gig. So
We don't want to say rehearsal, but a warm up or yeah.
a warmer upper. Yes, exactly. With a limited studio audience, I believe. So I think you can get tickets. I'm not sure if there's any left or anything, but yeah, it's a great spot, and Sean does a great job. Happy Trucker.
Happy Trucker. Yeah, those are always fun to watch. It's a
Super
good
fun.
job.
Yeah.
It's a good
Right on.
job.
So that's May, but then I got lots of other like May 24th, I'll be at the Turf Club again for the Bob Dylan tribute. And that's a whole bunch of fun people. They call it the Minneapolis Wrecking Crew. I'm not sure, but a bunch of luminaries in that band, the backing band, and then a bunch of us all doing a few songs. And so I'm doing a couple songs with Ginny Dodds on that night. That'll be awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I don't know if you've heard about the Delindas. Do you know what that's? So I'm also in a Linda Ronstadt tribute band. We've only had one show so far, but we're doing a show June 9th at Capybara Lounge. And that's really fun. That's with Ginny Dodds and Edie Baumgart and Colleen Martin Oak. And it's like all female band, and we kind of trade off vocals, and it's actually not all female. It's almost all female. So anyway, good times. Watch for that band as well. I'm like glancing at all my gigs over here. I got some fun.
Becky, I have a question for you, because you were saying in 2010, I'm going back for a minute, just because you are so enmeshed in the music community here. You were flying back to Portland because you didn't know anybody, which sounds crazy as you're saying all these people now.
Yeah.
What was maybe somebody that you first connected, and then it was kind of like the domino effect of.
Oh yeah, there's a few. I always think about who are those people, right? Well,
or if you have a story you want to share of that, but I just feel like you are pretty enmeshed.
Well, and an interesting thing about where I'm at too is, since I wasn't a part of any music scene here at that time, I actually now know so many really different little things. So one of them was Ellen Stanley. She used to do a songwriter thing at her house, and I connected with her because I'd gone to Jim Walsh's Hootenanny, and she was doing that, and this was when I was just like, well, I don't know where to go. I heard about this thing, and I went out, and I mean, like, I couldn't even imagine like playing the Hootenanny. It was like, no. But I was like, well, I'll just go anyway. And then, so anyway, Helen used to have a songwriter thing at her house. So that I met Dan Gorder that way. I met Quillen Rowe that way. And then, I don't know, things more Jim. Then I did do the Hootenanny with Jim. And then I just met a bunch of other people. And I used to go hear the Real Phonic Radio Hour when Eric Koskinen, Paul Burgeon, Molly Mayer, Tom Middlebrook were reporting on this. Did you guys ever go to that?
Whenever
you did, Ann,
yeah,
for sure. that was like just so cool, and seeing things that I used to just go alone and kind of like, sit in the back. I didn't really know anybody, but I'm sure that's probably where I, met you, Anne, and we're like, oh, hi, we see each other and all
Funny
these
thing
things.
is, I
Who are
would have
you?
been the one with
Hello.
the 10-year-old. Yeah, I always brought a 10-year-old.
Oh, right, exactly. Yes.
Often I just went by Anya's mom when I was there.
Mhm. Right. It was, yeah. So those were really great. And then I missed all the Nyes stuff when Eric Koskinen and Molly Mayer and Paul Bergen were playing at Nyes every Wednesday. I missed all that. I never made it. I wasn't part of any of that. But after they quit doing that, they started doing something at the Astor. And that is kind of when I was just like starting to go out. So I was like, oh, I've seen those people. I'm going to go hear that. And it's always just so awkward. So freaking awkward. I hate it. But I'd carry my CD in my purse. And then, I remember like, seeing Eric and Paul and being like, they were getting a drink at the bar. And it's like, they were like, oh, hi, hi. Here's this chick. Oh, who's this chick? Anyway, it's awful. And then I was like, well, I have a CD. I made a record. And they were like, oh, thanks. So I think I gave them both my CD. And Eric has told me recently that he never, people give him CDs all the time. He never puts them in as, doesn't listen to them usually. But for some reason he had he was going somewhere and he's just like, okay, whatever. He stuck mine in. And he was like, oh, that's not half bad. That's what he told me. Not half bad. No, he said he liked it.
Few as ever.
He liked it. And Paul told me that he liked it, but I found out later he never listened to it.
I love that. I love your story of being, 42 and going, oh, I'm going to play guitar, and having your CD in your purse, being awkward, going, here. I mean, it's a great, yeah.
Yeah. And then I found out, then I started going to see Paul and his band called the Astronauts of Rhythm and Sound every Wednesday at Morrissey's after Eric and then all those guys stopped playing at Astor. So then I go hear that. And that's when I really got to know Paul better. And eventually, like, I got the guts. I didn't really have a guitar player. I was, looking for one. I played with a few people, but everybody was busy. And Mikkel Beckman had maybe asked me to do a thing at the Dubliner. So I was like, oh, well, I don't know, Paul. I mean, would you ever consider playing with me? And he's like, sure, I'll play with you. What do you want? Yeah, just play your songs. Tell me what key they're in. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, the first time we ever played together was at the Dubliner with Mikkel Beckman. And yeah, Paul, he had obviously, as I speaker, she'll go out. Yeah, he had never heard my songs, but I just told him what key they were in, and I did my chunka thing, and he played along, and it was all good. And then afterwards, he said, I'll play with you anytime you want. So he liked the songs. That's the thing. And that's when I realized, oh, you know what? Musicians that are really good musicians, guess what they like to do? They like to play music. Ta-da! So there you go. And now we're playing music all the time. It's great. It's good.
Yeah. I was going to say, we spoke to John Magnuson, which you got to sing on there, and he sings high praises of you. And then he was like, with Paul, like, I love how music is such a connective element on so many levels, even for the listeners, but the musicians also.
Yeah, exactly. It's the best. It's like the best thing in the world. And yeah, I love singing with John too. I love it. I love his voice is so unique and rare. You can really project when you're singing with, you better project when you're singing with John. And he writes such great songs too. Super cool. So yeah, it's funny because it's like, where am I going? Why am I doing this? I started this at a late age. Like, where do I think I'm going? Like, I don't know. then I mean, more recently, I've just like really come to peace with like, I don't know where I'm going. I'm just going to keep going forward and enjoying myself um, and all these connections that are a result of this, like connecting with people that have the same, passions. There's nothing like it. It's the best thing in the world. Yeah. So, yeah.
But
Thanks
I
for
also
idling
like,
down.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
And it gave you the title of musician or whatever, like you said, I'm a mom, I'm a daughter, I'm this. It's something that you formed yourself, which I don't know. It's a good one to get. You earned.
I did. I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. So, yeah, I'm really proud of myself, for pushing forward through those really awkward times that, were terrible. I mean, I just hated it. It was like going out, I'm alone as a woman, and it's just, looks like you're, I don't know what, it's just, it's hard. I was always so grateful to see Anne around because, yeah,
So often
yeah,
by myself. Yeah, but it's
yeah,
I,
yeah,
I like your story for so many reasons. I mean, I like the story of the music, and I like the story of the relationship, and all of that as well.
yeah,
But it does kind of give faith to. It was just somewhere, and somebody posted, "Go to the show, go to the show." Why
yeah,
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? And you have those
yeah.
awkward moments, and there are some places I'm less happy to go by myself.
I agree. I agree.
There are I was out with a few people about a week ago, and I was like, oh, I wish I were alone.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There's both things. Exactly. Yeah, because it's like,
Better than
yeah, if you're a music lover, like I know you are, you don't always want to be like chatting, you want to just, so it is fun to be able to go alone and be, yeah. And there's some places where it's much easier to be sort of in the background and not even have to interact with anybody. So
you don't want to
that's why I
interact
like the
with,
Turf Club, actually. I feel like the
yeah,
Turf Club is a place that's like, it's big enough, but it's not too big. It's not, too cool for school. There's some places I just like, oh, and parking is
yeah,
hard and all the things,
all the things, but
Right.
it's worth it to
Turf
go
Club,
through all
not.
the things. Yeah.
Yes. Right.
And we have the places like the Turf Club. We have the people that you're able to mix with. I mean, I just think all of that is, and then even, I think Mikkel Beckman. I mean, he books more shows than
He's amazing.
honestly,
Yeah.
so the First Avenue some months. I mean, it's just
Yes. Yes,
he's always got something.
yeah, he is definitely one of those glues. And I've told him that a million times. Like, he just really has brought together so many people. And I always enjoy playing with him, so much. He's just got such a good feel. And, he's kind of like me too. I'm pretty sure he just is all self-taught and, just had a desire to do this thing. And he's created a whole scene. And that's such a good lesson too. I mean, just how, yeah, creating a scene. It's like, I always think of it as like, this will age me, but watching the Little Rascals and the R Gang stuff, and where they're like, let's put on a show, and then have their curtain made of like, all patched and quilted, anyway, they just were like scrappy creating a thing, and that's just the best, yeah, thing in life. I really feel sorry for some of my friends that don't have like a a passion like that they've just discovered. I mean, it took me a long time, but I'm embracing it now. So very, very lucky that way.
Good.
Yeah.
And that is the best lesson. And I think there is in your music, I can hear different eras, and I can hear different ages. You know what I'm saying? And it's a song like, I don't know, would be, you're singing that when you're over 50, there might be some sarcasm there, or I found your ring, there might be some sarcasm that wasn't
Yeah.
there when you were 25.
Yeah.
It's just that tongue in cheek,
Yeah.
although but captures the both approaches.
Yes. Well, I don't think I could have. I mean, when I was 25, I certainly had plenty of angst and all that, but I just couldn't have I just don't think I could have pulled it together. I don't think I could have written the songs at all. Well, I didn't. So the proof is in the pudding. I didn't write songs when I was 25 at all. Never even thought of it. Never
So that was
even considered it.
your free time, the free time you had at that age, and how much of it was just it's 25, that's a short life to live. You only got so
Yeah.
much to pull into, and how much
Yeah.
of it is kind of growing into the confidence to do it.
Yes, I think that's right. And then just really having the I guess, I don't really care attitude anymore about what people, think or whatever. And like I say, I kind of got over the idea that songs are all autobiographical, blah, blah, blah. They're not. They're, like I say, they're inspired by something. And ultimately they're all about me. Which is, that's the subject I know best. So, or do I?
Still discovering.
Yeah, exactly. But I have had to tell myself as I'm not a very disciplined songwriter. I'll tell you that. I don't sit down in the morning and, use prompts or anything. If a song comes to me, it comes to me. But sometimes there'll be an idea that comes to me and I'll want to, I've sort of learned the lesson of don't try to encompass everything in a song. Don't try to make a song some epic everything song. No, the best song is the simplest sliver of an idea. That's the best song, I think. Just like this laser focused little feeling that we all have had, or that's the best song for me anyway. I like simple songs.
Here's the listener. I love one really good detail, because even if that's not my really good even if you're singing about a bar in Denver, I'm going to think of the Turf Club,
right?
And it makes it yours. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
I know that place. Never been to Denver.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I agree. That's yeah. There's a lot of good songs out there. When I thought about before I wrote songs, I guess I never had a desire to write songs because I was like, well, there's so many good songs out there that I want to cover. That's another art I do believe too, is the art of finding the right.
That kind of leads me to ask, High on a Hilltop, what made you choose the one just one cover? On the album.
Yeah, well, that one was I wasn't really aware of that song, but Paul and I were listening to Nick Lowe's record Dig My Mood one night, and that song came on, and I was like, oh, what was that? And wait, let's play that one again. And then it became, he's like, and then he said, you should cover that one. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Then that song became like a really annoying earworm. It kept me, I'm not kidding. I would wake up in the middle of the night and high on a hilltop, like going through my brain. It was it was weird. It was really stuck in my head for like 2 weeks, keeping me from sleeping soundly. So we had to record it so I could just get it out of my system. Exactly.
Well, that's when you know it's yours.
Exactly. Yes. And then we went and saw Nick Lowe, back in, it was November, I think, when he was at the Turf Club. Oh, what a show. And I was really wishing I'd had the physical copies of the CD at that point, which I didn't, but to so I could slip them one. Here you go.
You're good at that.
Yeah,
exactly.
Just like old times, just a little higher level.
Wow. That's how that goes. That goes.
That's right.
Becky, I will include this in the notes, but tell folks where to find you online.
Oh, yes. BeckyKapell.com. So it's Becky, B-C-K-Y. Kapell is spelled K-A-P-E-L-L. A lot of people think it's with a C, but it's a K. BeckyKapell.com, and that's where I list everything. I don't have all my summer gigs up there yet because I'm just waiting for confirmation on a few things, but that's where you will find everything. And then I'm on Facebook, Becky Kapell. I have a music page there, and on Instagram, Becky Kapell.
Regular. That's good, and that's a good way to keep up. It's a good way to keep up, and it's a good way to see a lot of your photography too. I just think you do a
Yeah,
nice job.
right,
with some of that.
exactly. Which I've been kind of doing less of, but I'm gonna ramp it up. You know, I think the thing is too is like you put something out in the world, this kind of project, and it wasn't like, you know, blood, sweat, and tears, but there is a lot of just little things that distract you from the other things, which are, you know, writing more songs, and doing like the other things that you like to do, which I like to take pictures and videos and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't have a lot of bandwidth in my brain to be able to do it all the time. I'm a creative person, but I can't always. I have to. Yeah, there's long gaps in between of producing. You know,
Just saying is there's only one of you. So
there's one of me, exactly. And as I'm talking to you guys too, I'm like, I have a window right here in front of me, and I'm glancing out at my backyard, which is one of my also pride and joys. I should turn the computer around and show you, but it's my backyard is quite an oasis, and so I do spend a lot of time digging in the dirt and pulling little things out of the ground and pruning things, and it's quite something out there.
nice.
So,
But I get as much care and concern as the album, so that's good.
absolutely, yes. That was my passion before music, I guess, was gardening.
No, that's well now you got a lot of passions, and that's good. And In It to Win It is I think it's a fantastic album. As I said, it reminds me of some of the music that I listened to as a kid, and then you know, and it's
Yeah,
Heather said, and then you got some
it
Nikki
has a
Lane.
feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's groovy. That's what I'd say. It's groovy.
It's groovy.
Country, I guess, but it's groovy.
But it's groovy. All right, we're gonna leave on that note. Becky, thank you so much for talking to us about your music.
Thank you, you guys. Thanks. I love talking about myself. What a joy.